Alright guys, well here it is. This is the Ladiesman's criminal record from Utah. I told you I would get it. Now I'm going to go through this really quick, and I may make a longer video later, but I need to say a couple of things real fast. Number one, don't make fun of my voice like you do Brooke, or I won't be your friend. But here's the deal. Alright, showing someone's criminal record online is not against the law. What you're not allowed to do, though, is you're not allowed to alter it, and you're not allowed to use it to harass somebody. Okay, I've done this plenty of times before. I may explain that more in a later video. Alright, so we're going to go through this pretty quick. And the other thing I want to say is that this is not his entire record from Utah. There's a few things that I left out because they're just minor charges, like driving impaired, things like that, probation, whatever, right? But we're going to look at the worst. And this is all going to be in chronological order, by the way. Okay, so let's look at the first one. This is an indictment from August 2018. And I'm going to do my best so that everybody can see everything. I hope so. And one other thing that I'm not going to do, I'm not even going to say this person's name. I'm going to let the document speak for itself, because harassment, right? So we're going to let the document speak for itself. And all of these came from a .gov website, and yes, I paid for this. This is not from a .com background search website. This is 100% official government documents right here that we're going to be looking at. As you can see the name there. You can see the date of birth there. Okay. Now, so this first one is minor. It's criminal mischief, and he was 22 years old. And just basically, it's property damage. Who knows exactly what he did, but this is a simple one, but we're just going to start here at the beginning. So as you can see, criminal mischief, Class B misdemeanor, and he was charged with property damage less than $500 in value. All right, and then with that, this is how that case ended up. Basically, what happened was, he pled no contest in February 2019, and then it was disposed in December 2019. So more than likely, he maybe got deferred probation for that. And as long as he didn't do anything in the meantime, he didn't get in trouble for it. That's the best that I can gather from all of this, what happened with that charge. But nonetheless, let's move on. All right, this one here is probably the worst one, simply because this happened on Christmas Day. And I'll just go ahead and give you the short of it real quick. He assaulted his mother on Christmas Day. Once again, as you can see, I hope. Let me zoom in just real quick. You see the name. You see the date of birth. All right. The offense date, 12/25/2019, Christmas Day. Two offenses, assault and criminal mischief. Now I'm going to have to zoom this back out so that I can read all of this. Now this is the affidavit from the police officer that made the arrest that day. The AP is an adult who lives with his mother. Tonight the AP wanted to go get smokes from a 7-Eleven. The AP's mother agreed to take him to the nearest one, but he wanted to go to a different one. The AP got upset and kicked his mother's bed frame, causing it to break. The AP then proceeded to throw a wooden box, which struck the victim in the stomach area. And spoiler alert, this won't be the last time he assaulted his mother. So if anybody wants to pause that, possibly look at that later on. Anyways, again, I'm going through this real fast. I will probably make a longer one. All right, now this next probable cause affidavit was from October 2021, and it is practically the same exact thing. We'll zoom in here. As you can see, the name, the birth date, the offense date, 12/23/2021, assault and criminal mischief. And I'm going to zoom back out so I can read all of this. AP was contacted due to his sister calling the police saying that AP had been pulling their mother's hair. punching holes in the wall, and kicking their mother's vehicle. Upon arrival, several holes in the wall and door were observed in the hallway adjacent to AP's room. AP's mother was outside waiting in her vehicle. Pieces of the drywall were observed on the floor and stairs just below one of the holes. AP's mother stated that he had been feeling anxiety today and had caused the holes in the wall and pulled her hair. AP was taken into custody under suspicion of domestic violence, criminal mischief, and assault. AP and AP's mother both live in the same home, are related, and are cohabitants. After AP was taken into custody, AP admitted to causing the holes in the wall and said that he intended on fixing the holes. Now, for that charge there, the conditions of his release, I'm just going to go through this real quick, part of it here. This is the really interesting and telling part about this one right here. So his conditions of release were many things, but number one is that absolutely no contact with the alleged victim. So he can't even talk to his mother. All right. And then what it says right here is that he was also on probation at the time for several misdemeanor cases, including impaired driving. So basically what happened in between this assault and the last assault, he was on probation and had several misdemeanor cases and also had an impaired driving in between these two assaults on his mother. In those jurisdictions where pretrial release and supervision authority has been granted by written agreement, defendants may be released to pretrial services without posting bail, etc., etc. So that's the short of it. I tried to do this as fast as possible, just so that in case Steve is going to show this during his live stream, it doesn't just take up a whole bunch of time. But there's other things that I want to say about all of this and stuff about New York. But real quick about New York. Here's the deal with New York, okay? And I did pay for these, but they're not near expensive as New York is. And we don't even know exactly what he may or may not have in New York, but here's the deal with New York. I'm just going to post this up real big for everybody to see it, I hope. Basically, short of it is it's $95 to get a criminal history search through newyork.gov, right? And you know what? I think assaulting your mother 2 times, especially one time on Christmas, I think that's enough, quite frankly. Now, to end this real quick, I want to say this. All right. Now, I searched through 3 different states that he has known history in, okay? I did not find anything related to SA. However, that's what I want to bring up later on in a longer video and explain that just because they are not on a public registered list, that does not mean they have not been charged. All right. However, I did thoroughly search Utah, so I'm almost 100% positive he has no SA offenses in Utah. I'm almost 100% positive he has no SA offenses in Idaho. I can't say the same for New York because New York's SA program is very messed up. Let me just say that. But nonetheless, I'll do a longer video possibly later on. And that's that. We'll see you guys at the library.